Hi everyone, I'm Savanna and this is Mental Mondays with Savanna, a motivating, mental cleansing, and energy boosting podcast. I focus on how one can improve their mental health while helping you build a better mindset, better habits, and a better life for yourself. I'm a 16-year-old CEO, a passionate storyteller, and an optimistic dreamer who views the world through a different set of lenses. I came on here to share that unique view with you. Ultimately, this is a raw reflection of my personal experiences. My biggest hope is that my videos ignite a spark in you to seek your highest potential and so that you can live a life without limits. Let's dive into it. Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be back. I know I've been on hiatus for the past couple of months, but I'm back. I'm here and I'm excited to start season 2 of Mental Mondays with Savanna. As you guys have noticed, if you are listening on YouTube, we're doing the very first video cast. I'm so excited because I've been wanting to do a video cast and I was like, okay, season 2, we're going to do a video cast. We're going to get onto it. So I'm excited. We're here, we're back. We have new things in store for this season. So just be on the lookout for that. But first, I want to thank you all for tuning in, all my listeners, all my supporters for tuning in, and just for all the love I've gotten over the past year. This platform is just so incredible because it not only allows me to impact other people, to impact you all, but I also get to grow while taking this path as well. So it's such an honor to have this platform. And knowing that people's lives can be changed through this means the world to me. And I am eternally grateful to be a part of this amazing movement. And so while I was away, I was thinking about all the things that have happened in the last year. And I was really just taking in all the amazing blessings from this podcast. And I wanted to meditate and focus on things I did well last season and things I could do better on going forth so that we can grow and improve this season. I want to say sorry for taking such a long time to come back, but I think that process was really important for me. It's like taking a step back to see what you've built and what you did well, and then what you could do better to effectively start building again. But I'm back and we're going to start building again. So much has happened while I was gone though, so let me give you a brief update. First, I've been blessed to say that I got elected on the Sacramento Behavior Mental Health Youth Advisory Board. This is the very first time the Sacramento government has ever made a mental health board for youth to sit at the table and express their feelings about mental awareness, something that I'm so honored to be a part of. And also, more good news, I was recently elected as the chair of the board, and I cannot tell you how excited and how blessed I am to take on this position. So I became part of the board back in October, and we recently, like on Friday, we recently elected all of our officers and I was elected chair. So I'm so excited. So that has been happening in that department. Now a brief mental health check. Okay, so my original plans was to bring this podcast back on the first Monday of January, which would have been January 3rd. But things got pushed back a bit because my midterms were coming up and I became so much more busy and things kind of went everywhere. I do have to admit, finals made me super drained. Like, I was not in the best shape mentally, emotionally. And during like finals period, I would be running up and down to different classes, working in their lunch, elective, free period. Literally every free time I had during school, I'd be in the classroom trying to study, trying to figure out how I can get the best possible grade so I can maintain my A. And then I would go home, study all night until like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then I would go to bed around that time, and then I'd wake up an hour later and wake up at 6 and started the whole process over again. This went on for a couple weeks, and school just really started to drain a lot out of me very quickly. And then I began doubting myself, what I was capable of, and defined myself by my grades instead of my ability and my potential. It was a pretty dark time for me mentally, and it was just not my greatest period. And I remember one day I was like sitting in the bathroom, I was kind of like crying my eyes out, and my sister came in. She silently came in and she opened the doors. Then she started playing my podcast on her iPad. And that podcast, the episode that she played was episode 16, and the topic was what to do when you feel unmotivated and burnt out. And it was just a very gentle reminder that life is all about balance. Yes, I do have these ambitious goals to get A's, but I shouldn't sacrifice my health to get some letter on a piece of paper. It also helped me relieve some of my stress the days before I had to take my final exams. And I also remember talking to my parents after taking my exams, and they were all like, "You worked your hardest, you stayed up, and you put in that effort. Now, whatever comes out of that, know that you did your best and you truly tried. The end result is not the definition of your life. It may have mirrored your work, but it certainly won't mirror your success or your potential. In the end, I'm super proud of you." And that was the message that they sent to me. And it was just a reminder that reminder really helped me get through that painful time. And it helped me make a refreshing start. Along with all my grandparents, my grandma, my siblings, they all were just there for me, helped comfort me during that time when I was just stressing myself out. So that's what's been going on. And that actually leads us into today's topic: how to renew yourself and make your refreshing start this 2022. First things first, how can we take our time, one of the most valuable things we own, and use it to renew ourselves and make a fresh entrance this 2022? I know the way that I started 2022 was not the best, as midterms really drained a lot out of me. And I remember after midterms were over, a couple days later, my friend texted me and was like, "I feel so happy. I feel so free. Am I even allowed to feel this way? Like, this is just so weird to feel this way." And it just went after reading that message, it showed me the toxic environment and the mindset that we put ourselves in, and how used we were to the harmful stress and the pressure. Now, don't get me wrong, a little pressure is good, but when you start to abuse your mental health just to get things done, that's a harmful state, and that's something that we want to avoid. Just know this: life is a series of baby steps, and along the way, those steps take us to our goal and where we aspire to be in the future. But sometimes we have to take a step back, look at what we're creating, and analyze the process that we're going through. How's my mental health been? Am I mentally aware about myself and my feelings about the people around me? So, one of the major themes for this year and for this podcast is to be mentally aware and conscious about myself and the people around me. And this is one of those goals that will always be prevalent throughout our lives, but this is something I truly want to focus on this year. So, in order to be more mentally aware of ourselves and our surroundings, we're going to need to give up some things this year. 4 things that we should quit going into 2022 are: 1, caring about what others think; 2, not believing in yourself; 3, not prioritizing your health; and 4, wasting our precious time. So, the first one is caring about what others think about yourself. Now, this is a tough one. We all have this automatic wiring in our brain that wants to please others because there's this common belief that, oh, others' perception of me is the real me, when it's not. It can be so hard to shake that feeling that if you get things right all the time, you'll be loved and admired. But this is a road that leads to no end. Not only because perfection is an illusion, but because what other people think about you has more to do with them than with you. The second thing we want to let go of is not believing in yourself, aka self doubt. As soon as we begin to doubt ourselves, doubt what we're capable of, and slap a label on our self worth, we start shifting our focus to surviving instead of thriving. We start to do things purely for the external benefits, things that will only keep us afloat in the deep sea, rather than helping us swim and explore the possibilities. We then lose that zest for life. We stop doing things even if they bring us joy, and it leads to a never ending cycle of self doubt and depression. The third thing that we want to stop doing is stop comparing ourselves to everybody else. Now, this is another big one that connects with all the previous statements about self doubt. When we start comparing ourselves to others, it can lead to damaging results and a damaging mindset that says, my worth is based on how well I surpass others. Remember, your potential is not measured in other people, but it's measured against what you have the ability to do. The fourth one is wasting your precious time. Let's begin with the basics. There are 24 hours in a day, right? That means there is 86,400 seconds every single day. Now, let me ask you this question. What if you earned $86,400 every single day? What would you use that money for? Would you use that money to invest in yourself, to advance your brain? Would you use it to achieve your goals? Or would you use it to go straight to Amazon and buy all the things on the wish list that you've been wanting to buy? Here's the thing, we are all gaining $86,400 every single day. The most powerful form of currency is time, and we all have the same amount of it. But how we spend that currency will reflect the path we take for our future. Let's just say, whatever you invest your time in, that's what you'll gain in the end. Now, all four of these things have one thing in common. They waste your time and they make you feel worthless. Whenever you participate in any of these activities, whether it's caring about what others think, not believing in yourself, comparing yourself to someone else, or wasting your time, you're actively looking for your worth outside of yourself. Like how I continue to look at my grades and I saw that as myself. But the reality is, your worth has been and still is inside of you all this time. So, how can we rise up from that? How can we make the first step towards a wholesome and healthy mindset? Here are four things we should continue to start doing throughout 2022. The first one is to have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So, we want to have that growth mindset that believes that your potential is so much more than what meets the eye, and you are not any of your previous successes or failures. The second one is to rise up from your obstacles. Like my girl Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we take that opportunity and rise up to go high. The third one is to take time to practice gratitude. This can be so easy to forget, but sometimes we need to take a minute to reflect about the things in our life that we're grateful for. It can be simple as having a cup of tea while watching the sun rise and reflecting on your life and all the things you're grateful for. And the last but final thing, the fourth thing that we should start doing in 2022 is reflect and talk about your feelings. Don't keep them bottled up. It's so important to share how you're feeling with the people close to you, whether you're feeling great or you're feeling miserable. All of those feelings are important and all of them matter. So don't try to keep one bottled up while you're trying to let one shine throughout. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing your feelings with anyone, sometimes a personal journal can help you express what you're experiencing. And if you do keep a journal, you can reflect back on the year, throughout the year, and how things have changed and how you've grown as a person. We have the first quote of the day of season 2. It comes from Mary Anne Radmacher, and she says, courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. I specifically chose this quote because it's a pleasant reminder that the greatest strength you can possess sometimes is to simply believe in yourself and what you're capable of. So don't let the past pains, the current pains, and the hurts stop and define who you truly are. You're so much more than the events that you went through in 2021. Rise up and put yourself together. Keep pushing because your future depends on it. And guess what? Mental Mondays will be right along with you. I will be right along with you on this journey, so you are not alone. Let's make 2022 our best year yet. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of season 2, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye! Thank you so much for tuning in. You just listened to Mental Mondays with Savanna. Make sure to click the subscribe button below to receive more positivity every Monday and join the fam. And always remember, you can't impersonate anybody else, but you can become more than anybody else. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next week.